set your watch by this first plant.
Yes!
It's got a really cool story. So if you love unique, if you love color, this is a collection for you, especially if you've got, you know, some space you need to get planted and growing in quickly. This is new today at a sale price of $16.92. And since you're getting 20 pieces, that means your cost per plant is 85 cents.
Oh my goodness.
That's the lowest we're going to be able to bring to you because the coverage you're getting, the size of this collection, it's on Easy Pay for $4.23. So if you need even more than that 20 pieces, use Easy Pay with a major credit card, a Q card, or PayPal. And like everything from Cottage Farms, this ships for free. The item number is M63392. Tell us what's so unique about the multicolored 4 o'clocks.
Well, in their name, they say fragrant 4 o'clock. So that is really wonderful because you are getting color and fragrance in this. And I know we all want color in our garden. That's what we want to, but we can also get fragrance. I mean, I wish we could have smell-o-vision, but the colors on these are so bright and bold. They have 4 different colors. You see that there's like that bright pink there, and then we've got a yellow, an orange, and then this variegated color. But what's really cool about these, I love them. They call them the commuter's plant because you go off to work, you leave, you come home around 4. I'm not going to say set your watch for them like you said, but they'll open when it gets a little bit cooler in the afternoon.
Wow.
So they like some morning sun, and if you have a spot, if you're thinking about where you need these, because they do provide you with some full, you can see here, really dense coverage, covered in these beautiful fragrant, like honey vanilla scented blossoms.
How
they
nice.
will open for you right around that time you're getting home from work.
This is so amazing.
Aren't they
and they're
beautiful?
annuals, so it's color really fast.
Yeah,
right?
so that's the great thing about plants like these is that they will grow fast and they will be covered in blooms all season, all the way through till fall.
Wow.
And we call them annuals, but they're seeds. So the seeds this is how they come. And I know it's really interesting. So let's take one out here. So these are their seed pods. And what they do is this will drop in the fall. And so they'll reseed themselves. So you actually, they're annuals, but you get more plants next year. If you want them, they will drop in that same spot and bloom again.
So there's nothing you have to do to maintain
Nothing you
them
have
or
to do.
encourage them.
Right.
You just plant them this year and then
they'll grow again next
let 'em
year.
be.
Yeah, and you could collect seed pods if you are so inclined. But this is how they come. And when you do plant them, I was holding them in my hand flat, just, you know, you can kind of just toss them in your garden after your hole, but the correct way to plant them is sideways like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they look like when they ship out?
That's
what they look
That's
like.
what they look like.
Okay. That's so cool. And you just stick them in the ground
You just
sideways.
stick them in the ground and they will grow because they want, you know, these are those plants that will perform for you
That's
in
cool.
the summer. And they will have, this is what they will look like in their first year.
How much sun, because when I think about annuals and where I typically put them at my house, they're kind of like out in the sun. Do these like sunshade?
So what they'll do, they do love morning sun, but they also like a little coolness. So when they start to open, which is while they'll open later in the evening, because they like when it gets cooler is when their flowers start to bud. Kind of with me. I like to be out in the evening, you know, in the heat of the sun, I gotta wear my protective gear, but then in the evening, these just blossom.
Well, when I was chatting with Katie before the show, I started thinking about it because I said, you know, how big do these get? And you told me they can get up to 3 feet wide.
Yes.
So when you're planting, please keep that in mind. But then I started doing the math on it and I went, well, shoot, if each plant can get 3 feet wide and I'm getting 20 plants, that's 60 linear feet worth of coverage out of one collection for under $17.
Yes.
That's when I kind of stood up straight because I said, oh, I really love the look and the color and this all sounds great. But then when I really started to assess what does that mean for my garden dollar, I was totally in on these.
And you know, they're great for planting under other things. We've got some honeysuckle right behind us that's coming up later in the show.
Well, and the shape kind of reminds me of like honeysuckle
Very
in a
much,
way.
very similar. It's a trumpet-shaped flower. And so I would love, yeah, you can see right here perfectly how really nicely those look with your honeysuckle. Because your honeysuckle is going to be really tall and grow up, and these are going to stay nice and compact, so they would look great planted under that. I would love that.
Do pollinators like this? I just look at the color and the shape of the flower, or do they
yes,
not?
there will be some pollinators on these.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Once we plant them in the ground, I am always wondering about new plants and when it's too soon to fertilize or how much they need. Is there anything you would encourage us to do early on?
A good rule of thumb for fertilization is wait until you see sprouts. So some of our plants already are sprouting, so you can start to fertilize them right away, but these are going to be planted a couple inches under the soil. So don't fertilize them until you see a little green coming up out of the soil. So that's a general rule of thumb. We have a great growing guide included with all of our plants, so that will tell you exactly how and when to fertilize each of your plants.
And this is
our
customer top rated,
fertilizer.
yeah.
Customer top rated. So you can see what this is it's just, if you do laundry, you can fertilize your plants. You just take one of these pods, stick it in your watering can, 1 per 1 gallon of water, water it into your plants, and they get that nice boost that they need.
Very cool. So they grow fairly quickly.
They grow
they're
quickly.
An annual. How long is their bloom cycle? When do they start to give us this look, and then for how long during the year?
So they'll start to bloom late spring, early summer, and they'll continue to bloom all the way through fall.
Wow.
Because that's why you choose, when you choose a plant that's an annual, a semi-annual like this, or a self-seeder like these, what you're getting is bloom power.
Like you're saying,
power.
Really not too far from now at all.
Right, not too far from now at all. Yeah, and a lot of our zones are already open. So if you're ordering today, the great, beautiful thing about this National Gardening Month is your plants could ship. You could get them as early as next week.
That's so cool.
Some of our zones are open, so that is
beautiful.
exciting.
I'm looking at these, and the texture and the shape and the whole thing. I just love everything about the Fragrant 4 o'clocks. And I plant a lot based on color. I don't always think about fragrance, but it's nice when you get both in one plant.
Especially with these, the low growing habit of them, I would plant them near your border. So I would love to see these along your border. So when you are walking, any fragrant plant is what I like to do along a border.
Great.
So as you're walking up the border, you brush by them naturally, and then that fragrance just kind of emits off into the air, and especially up your walkway as people are coming into your home, that's where you want that burst of color and some fragrance.
Do you have to plant them uniquely to get this blend of color, or is this what it does on its own?
Yes, Mother Nature did this all on her own.
How nice.
Yes, so these colors will all come out of one of those seed pods, and they'll grow. It's a very natural look, a very blended look. So I love that this mix, because it's hard when you are planting on your own, if you're trying to get a mix of colors, a rainbow of colors. Sometimes you put all the purple here, and then it just looks like a clump, and so this is a really nice natural mix.
Well, I'm thinking about our tricolor butterfly bush.
Yeah.
Like that's a 3-in-1 that Cottage Farms created for us.
That's right.
Here, they didn't have to. That's why I was asking, because we just don't see this kind of mixture naturally. But for 20 pieces, I've got to go back to the value and leave you with this thought. It's 85 cents for each pod of what you're looking at here this season, and Katie did a great job of explaining that it's self-seeding. So while this is an annual, it does continue to pay off year after year with an easy payment of $4.23, free shipping and handling. The item number 4, our first collection in this show, and I think it's a doozy. It's big. It's got a great investment story with it, but it's stunning. It's so pretty. M63392. So Katie, a couple of things about Cottage Farms that are important to explain. One is the zone map, and then one is the warranty. So please